was just unbelievable. The winds, the amount of fires that were there. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. And then the aftermath of that, where we had neighborhoods where they were burned down to powder. You couldn't tell where the toilet was. A porcelain toilet was gone. The countertops were gone. Fires that I've been to in the past, you could always tell where the kitchen had been or the bathrooms were, because there was the shell of the oven and the stove were there. The toilets were still there. But after the Tubbs fire, none of that. It was down to nothing. While at the same time, most of the trees were still up. So I got together with a friend of mine named John Lord. He was also a retired fire captain. At the time, I was actually still working as a fire captain, paramedic. I traveled all over the state during my career fighting large vegetation fires. And so I have a lot of experience. Thick metal in the microwave, it's going to have a much greater, a more explosive effect than a pile of twigs. And that's what this looked like. That's what we were seeing. In the fall of 2018, that's when the campfire in Paradise took place. There was a vault, an electrical vault there, standing there by itself with no fire damage to it. Opened this vault, and there was a melted smart meter inside this vault. So it happened. It melted from an interior. It did not happen from exterior heat. We saw a large tree. It had burned on the inside. These trees were burning from the inside out, and they were actually burned into the ground, creating these tunnel systems where the roots were. What I saw up in Paradise was people were kept weeks from their property while their utility companies were in there. There were crews cutting trees down. If there was any evidence they wanted to get rid of, they had weeks of getting rid of any evidence before the homeowners, the property owners could get in there. And to me, that is not right. I understand if there's a danger, then maybe you sign a waiver or maybe you put on some personal protective equipment, but it's not right. It is not right. They're normalizing this, that do what the government says when they say that they're the boss. No, we the people are the boss. Government works for us. The crews that are there cleaning up in Maui, they should be working for the people.
The Empress went and flew across the water and caught the boat on fire. What would you say to that?
Yeah, no. If it was one boat that actually happened to amongst the 100 other boats that didn't happen to, they could be, well, that was a freak thing. It just happened. The Emperor happened to land at the right spot, and maybe that could happen. But to all the boats, no.
How can fire reach temperatures to melt glass and incinerate metals?
It's possible with the wind and the right conditions. You can get temperatures really high with being wind driven, but it's not likely. I mean, I saw pictures of these two cars in the field up there where they're completely burned up with it. And that doesn't happen like that. So,
is that normal to have a wildfire do a ring around a city, a town like that? Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. But fires burn out. Fires don't burn in. Fires start in a spot and they burn outward. So they will burn like this. They'll burn out. They'll usually have what's called a head. So if it's a wind-driven fire, whatever the direction the wind's going, that's where the fire is going to go the furthest. But then on the sides, they will be going outward slowly, not as fast as where the wind's going.